I'll be where I wanna be.
I know I can.
I know I can.
Be what I wanna be.
Be what I wanna be.
And if I work hard at it,
And if I work hard at it,
I'll be where I wanna be.
I'll be where I wanna be.
No more anger, keep the peace, yeah we got this. We're one big anchor in too deep and they can't stop this. We come together to reside in our oneness. Love is our tether, time to elevate our conscious. Get your mind right, use your time wise, know you can. Find your in light, let it shine bright. All God's plan, who I abide by, or why would I try? Take a chance, a peaceful life, right? That's my eye prize, another glance.
Well, welcome to Kingdom Spot. Yeah, this is Kingdom Spot where all the lions and the lionesses come together to congregate, build up the community, foot to foot and city to city. We usually aim to build back the black community because obviously the black community is very vital and important to obviously all communities and all civilizations, because if we know who we are, then obviously we know that a lot of culture is influenced out of black culture.
Yeah.
So today obviously we're going to be talking about, both of you that are artists, we're going to talk about music. So I'm going to ask you a few questions on music, various music, what you lot are interested into, what you lot do with yourself in your life, in what like background you lot come from, and a little bit about like your kind of like beliefs like in political system and things like about like schools and things like that, upbringing. Yeah, is that cool? Yeah.
Cool.
So do you lot just want to introduce yourself to the viewers, to those who don't know you and for those who know you?
Hi, my name's Kay Harmony.
Hi, I'm Loretta Brown.
Yeah, so what do you lot do then? What?
So I'm a rapper.
I'm a singer. I'm a student too.
I also done a little bit of acting. You can run away from hell, but the hardest thing is losing the demons that follow. One on the right called loneliness, and one on the left called fear. No, bring you on.
So what's with all this makeup? Huh? You've been out, innit? Without me?
So just quite creative in general, really.
Yeah. So you're both from the Nottingham area?
Both from Nottingham, yeah.
Yeah, you always lived in Nottingham?
Yeah, went to school together.
Went to school together, my best friend from there. So yeah.
So where was you growing up there? Where you both from? What part of Nottingham from?
We was both from Moor.
Yeah,
Moor.
both from Moor.
Yeah. What school did you go to?
Riverine.
Yeah.
It's the Ball Academy now.
Well, yeah, Ball Academy now, it's changed.
All Academy
changed now, yeah.
Yeah. So growing up here, what was it like, the community like in Bulwer?
Well, Bulwer has the highest like teenage pregnancy rate in the whole of the UK, I think it is. So obviously, growing up in Bulwer was quite hard, to be honest. You see a lot of like deprived families. You see a lot of single mums. Like I grew up with my mum was a single mum, so it was just me and my mum growing up. So yeah, it kind of was hard. There was a lot of pressure.
You know what, funnily enough, I actually enjoyed living in Bulwer. I met some of the best people I ever met in my whole life. I met my best friends there. You meet kind of all kinds of walks of life living in that sort of area, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think you learn a lot.
Bulwer's
you
kind
learn
of
a lot.
like a diverse area, like lots of different kind of people down there.
Yeah.
Where we are now, we're in Radford,
Yeah.
and obviously Radford is like a dominant black area.
Yeah.
Well, obviously it's kind of diluted now because you got like the Polish and all the new foreigners what's coming, but obviously you got the Africans to balance it back again.
Yeah.
So obviously back in the day they wasn't there. You had all the just Jamaicans etc.
mainly,
But at the same time,
I think
Radford as a
Radford's
whole,
quite culturally rich, to be honest.
yeah, that's what I'm about to say. As a whole, like you
Yeah.
said, it's culturally richer.
Definitely.
Like you said, but at the same time, even though Radford's culturally rich, like you said, Bulwer, it's got the diversity. At the same time, you can benefit on both sides to a degree.
To a degree, yeah. It's like I did feel like I stood out in Bulwer being black. Definitely. Like when I was in primary school, there was only one other black person in my year, and there was one other Asian guy in my year. So I did feel that. I did feel it growing up in Bulwer. That you know, I did feel different.
Yeah, 'cause I used to go Bulwell back in the day, 'cause I used to have people up there, I used to go check. So when you go up there, because obviously most of the boys up there, definitely the boys anyway, you'll have maybe got Bulwell known for lots of brownie girls back in those days, like obviously lots of brownie girls up there, so obviously you might adventure up there them time, but at the same time, as a whole, boys wise, there wasn't really many black boys up there. Like when I say black boys, I mean black boys, full black boys.
There's a lot of mixed race, but not.
So when we used to go up there as full black boys, obviously we stood out like what you're saying, even more. You know, but at the same time, you have some people like what will embrace you, and then some what would not that they wouldn't embrace you, but they fear you anyway because obviously they're not used to seeing you, so they kind of like keep away. Yeah. But at the same time, you admit they can't really say anything anyway, so it's not really a trouble thing because they know where you. The more they like you, from
exactly.
So
no, I did feel like growing up, like my teen years, I did sort of draw more to Radford and like St Anne's and make friends sort of in those areas. Because I just felt more attached to them areas. You know, my dad lives around there as well, and I had a lot of friends around here. But obviously, due to being black, like because all my friends were white and Moor.
Even I noticed. I mean, I'm white, but even I noticed like everybody is white in the world. It's true. It's true.
You do see it. You do see it. Yeah.
So then, when you was growing up, especially are you saying that you two are best friends then?
Yeah.
You like look, your best friend was saying that as growing up, 'cause obviously you may not have seen that because you're friends, so you just love her anyway.
Yeah.
So you're not feeling how she felt. So how did you see it then? When obviously you didn't see it as nothing, as obviously you're a friend, but then did other people now, like what was white people, what didn't really associate with white women, black people in Bulwell, did they actually ever say anything to you, say like why you're hanging around with her, like as kids, you know, like kids being kids?
Yeah. In Bulwell, I didn't really find that, to be honest. I feel in that certain area, there's not a lot of, what's the kind of word I can use? There's not so much hostility between people in the area. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. It's more united. It's quite united.
It is, isn't it?
It is quite united.
People are quite good like that. Like, you know, I think it's the same kind of around here as well, do you know what I mean? Like people kind of stick within like who they know in different areas and whatever, and Bulwell's quite good like that. Like,
everyone's kind of got each other's
there's
back.
no front, there's no pretense.
That might have been now, but back in the day, the Bulwell man them, like back in the day, there wasn't really. Nowadays, because obviously I know more Bulwell man, there's mixed race lads, it's black, it's kind of different now, but back in the day, the core of Bulwell would have been obviously the majority of them is white guys going to the pub, etc. Even sometimes they was all flick. I know some of the older generation were white guys. They used to all even flick with the Bestwood lot and all those things there. So in those times, they was more like racist as an older generation.
You know what I think the problem is there as well is them sort of able to, that's a bit of a stereotype, isn't it? But it can become like a breeding ground for things like UKIP or BNP years ago and things like that, because there's a lack of education, and so there becomes like a disconnection where it's like what you was on about earlier. You was on about like it's like a fear of the unknown, like, oh, there's somebody new, do you know what I mean? I don't know them, so then it starts like creates a hostility, do you know what I mean? So I think you have to be wary of that. I mean, I didn't see that so much in Bulwell, but like you said, maybe if I was older and I'd have lived sort of 10 or 20 years before, then it'd probably been more of a big deal.
See, you know, I didn't really get that racially attacked growing up in Bulwell, I'm not gonna lie.
You just felt uncomfortable?
I just felt uncomfortable, I just noticed that I was different, but like Hucknall now, which is just a little bit up the road from Bulwell, that's a whole different ballgame. I wouldn't even go Hucknall because I just know how racist it is there. I went there actually Christmas time with my family, like obviously my white family, all my family's white, so you know what I mean. I was there with them and I noticed I was getting looks in the pub, like, and this was just Christmas just gone. Do you know what I mean? And I was the only black person in the pub, in the whole of the pub, and it just felt so uncomfortable. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's them sort of areas, that have got people where people live with money. Do you know what I mean? Like I think in Bulwell people are struggling financially, do you know what I mean? So they kind of they're poor, so they've already got their own struggles.
Like what you just said here, because they're in Bulwell now and they're kind of like remember before we even started the interview there, because obviously before the camera started I let them know usually this is more lines, and more lines stands for obviously Moor as being Moor is in black, yeah. So it's Black Lions, yeah. So we usually talk about black topics, what's happening with black issues in the black community. But at the same time, like I said, because obviously we originally was interviewing you, but obviously you've come with your friend, which is obviously it's about more love. And in more love, you have more power, more unity. You with me? No matter, like we say in other interviews, no matter what colour you are, what race you are, whatever. You with me? But at the same time, it's about uniting. But at the same time, we as black people, you need to unite because there's many issues what we need to deal with ourselves. But at the same time, we have to talk as a whole. Like I said to her earlier on before the camera rolled, because we come from the same society and the same areas and the same community. We share the same issues and same problems that what obviously suppress all of us because it's the same environment. You with me?
Yeah.
So at the same time, even though it's the same, it's different, but at the same time, it's we all can have similar experiences. You with me? But in different ways. But at the same time, we need to know that even though we're getting suppressed as black people, you with me? There's a big agenda where even good white people what are facing the same thing as black people, you with me? So as long as you're a good white person and you're willing to obviously build with black people, and obviously you got black friends, and sometimes you even got black family relatives because obviously people intermingle. So if you're good white people, don't be a black person who's ignorant, you with me? Build and love all. But at the same time, but also love your neighbor, love at the same time you loving others, love yourself and love your brothers and sisters, your others. You with me? That's what we're trying to send that day, you with me? But at the same time, you with me? We all as people are people and we need to obviously build back the city, the community and the world because obviously right about now there's chaos what's going on, you with me? People are sleepwalking, you others. You with me?
Yeah. Back in the day when I was growing up, everyone, in summertime, everyone's got their back doors open, everyone's in the street and it'll be like one big street party, everyone just in and out of everyone's houses and like one big community, do you know what I mean? That's what I remember growing up, like, because I lived on one end of Wall near the Headstocks pub, I lived down there and that street was actually just full of black people. It's like they placed all the black people on that street, so I grew up there till I was about 9. And that was brilliant, like, because we'd just have the reggae on, do you know what I mean? And we'd all just be out in the sunshine. Everyone knew everyone, and it was safe as well because everyone would just be looking out for everyone. Do you know what I mean? Everyone knows who's living next door and whose kids that, and you was all just together as one. And then I moved to Newmarket now, which is like behind Wall Station, which was an awful street. Like there was just crime there all the time, burnt out cars on the street every week. Do you know what I mean? Like it was hard living there, but still that community was there growing up. Then as I moved into sort of my teen years now, that's when things started to change, and I personally think it's a lot to do with the internet. You know, since the internet's come in, like everyone stays like within doors or sits on the computer, so they're not
too socially introverted.
Exactly. You're not communicating with your neighbour because you'd rather go and sit on the computer and go on Facebook and communicate with people on there.
There's too many barriers between each other. Do you know what I mean? There's like you need to keep a pretense with different people. Too much makeup, too many filters, and you know what? When you're on social media, you only display your good self. Do you know what I mean? You're not gonna talk about how you can't pay your bills. Do you know what I mean? And it creates like a divide where it's like
it's fake, isn't it? It's like a false world. It's like a false world that everyone puts so much energy into, when really you need to look at the real. Do you know what I mean? Because like you say, back in the day, you won't sit and talk about your problems, but before if you was talking to your neighbour, you know, you might get it off your chest about some issue you was having, and a problem shared is a problem halved at the end of the day. But I think these days people want to hide their negativity, they want to hide the bad, but the good comes with the bad. You know what I mean? And you have to remember that. But I think these days people, all they want to show is how much money they've got, or what flashy car they've got, or what's the latest gadget they've got.
I feel like things that are important, like as a community and to help other people, they're not valued things, you know what I mean? Like, there's no real praise for like the good listener or the one that like went the extra mile for somebody else, or somebody's always there like to help out, do you know what I mean? I feel like them things they're not really valued. People they're very superficial now, very skin deep, and I think that they played a massive part. I think.
Definitely. Right. So what do you think in the sense of, is Is that because of the way that the social system and networks set up to obviously keep communities broken up?
Yes.
Yeah.
My whole
Definitely.
dissertation's all about this.
Yeah,
I spent so much time on this.
I totally agree. Yeah, no, I think they are trying, the government, whatever.
The capitalist system
yeah,
is like completely against communication
community, yeah,
and building
and
everything
relationships,
together.
and you know, just coming together like.
It's on a global scale though.
Oh yeah,
This is everywhere.
it is, and that's what we have to recognise. Or it's like you were saying, it's not just certain areas; it's the whole world. Do you know what I mean? We need to come together and unite wholly. Do you know what I mean?
Inside you gotta fight to see a better world outside. Just keep a positive frame of mind and your faith alive. Inside you gotta fight to see a better world outside. Just keep a positive frame of mind and your faith alive. And in my words I confess every truth I've ever known. I'll take you through my life and show you just how much I've grown. You'll only make it through if you pursue it on your own. Letting how I feel be known, so feel the real in my tone.
So what? Obviously, you say you've been doing this in your dissertation.
Dissertation, yeah.
Obviously, I know a little bit about dissertation because obviously I passed it in my unit. So even though I'm a whole nigga, you look like and something like this.
More power, get me.
Throw that away to one side. We don't play that card.
Yes.
You see, yo, we're masters anyway.
Get me.
I would
Yes.
stand for genius, not necessarily gangster. I'm a genius.
Oi.
Really, that's my genius.
Yes.
So
I love that.
scratch all
I
that
love
anyway,
that.
yeah. But in your dissertation, then, so what can you elaborate on a little bit of kind of obviously on the topic like what you're saying?
Yeah.
You said it's like a social system and engineered to kind of like keep the communities from like reconnecting and building up them. So
Basically, my whole dissertation was based on an idea that once we kind of started to become more capitalised and into a patriarchy, and it's sort of it's Eurocentric. This kind of mould, it separates us intrinsically. Do you know what I mean? Right to the very core, and that's what kind of everything's been built around. And it kind of goes all the way back, sort of like a couple hundred years, sort of like to Victorian times when the Industrial Revolution started, and people start to think about business, not so much about community. Do you know what I mean? People are coming away from being farmers and things, and they're looking at how they can make money. Basically,
money. Yeah, it's money,
more
isn't
money,
it?
more problems.
Exactly. Even what you just said. Sorry, even what you just said then about people like not even farming. It's like even with our food. Do you know what I mean? We could grow our food locally and have it brought in, but no, instead we have stuff that's brought over from like other countries that's filled with preservatives and all sorts of.
And how much did the person that
poison.
picked it get paid?
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. But we only do that based on money, so we can have more money. But really, we could grow our food locally, and it'll be much better for us.
But who do you say when you say we can have more money? Who is we? Because obviously
we don't benefit. Yeah, that's you're right.
So who is we then?
Those the top, I suppose.
You and me, because obviously it goes back to the things what you're saying. And if it's engineered then to keep the communities down, then who's engineering these things then? These are the things. If we got problems in our community and we got problems in our music and we got problems in our films, what they're showing on our TV, because obviously they're putting a lot of poison in their films, in your house, in your homes.
Yeah.
This is why the men them can't deal with each other, because we're listening to certain music and then obviously
It's like a distraction from what you really need to be getting on with.
Exactly. Yeah.
And what would you like to say we need to be getting on with it?
Loving one another, literally.
Exactly.
That is literally the bottom line of it. That's the
it's
bottom
not very
line.
complicated, is it?
I honestly feel we're living in such fearful times at the minute, and it's like they install the fear into you.
It's been quite ingrained for years.
For years. I think anything you do in life, you do it out of fear or you do it out of love. And right now, we all seem to be making decisions based on fear. Oh, I ain't got enough money, so I need to do this. You know
It's
what
like
I
people
mean?
get to the top of the food chain. isn't
Yeah,
it?
exactly. It's just ridiculous. Oh, I need to look better because that girl on Facebook looks better than me, so I've got to go out and make myself look like this. Like, it's ridiculous.
We need a more holistic society where sort of everybody's on an even keel. And
Yeah.
by everybody, I mean literally, I mean the animals.
Yeah.
I mean the animals, all the way to Donald Trump, who's like trying to rule the world or whatever he's doing with life. Like, we all kind of need to be on an equal level. Do you know what I mean? Equal power. Like, you know, if you look at sort of different communities around the world, more natural cultures, like so the Maori tribes or Native American tribes and things. They live with them sort of values. You know what I mean? Where everybody's put on an equal scale, and I feel that will be a much better, more positive way to live. I really do.
But who's keeping those tribes, those native tribes down, those original people down? Because they're trying to live their life.
This is what I mean. There's too much
way.
of a gap between who's the top, and then the people underneath just kind of get squashed, don't they? That's the
But
problem.
there isn't even really there is a gap, but the gap doesn't really exist.
No, it's
The
true.
gap,
It's a myth.
The gap is obviously because, like you lot said earlier on, they're keeping everybody too busy and occupied doing what they're doing. So obviously some people are doing that, some people are doing this. But no matter what you are doing, you're too occupied to see obviously what's really going on.
Truth, yeah.
You get me? So obviously you'll see that gap don't really exist. We can still live like those people, but we're not obviously thinking we are the same as those people.
Exactly.
We're thinking we're better than those people because obviously we got the latest Gucci or got the latest
But then
Versace or
who's
something.
But who's really happier?
So who's
You
winning?
know what I mean?
They're happy because they don't even know that Gucci.
Exactly.
They're not They don't even know it exists. They're not in that trap. They're not in the trap.
Exactly, they're not trapped, man. They don't care. They don't know no different, and they're quite happy with their peaceful life. Do you know what I mean? I remember someone telling me a story, and she went to Africa on a mission, and she was Christian on a missionary. And she said this African woman, she was blind, she had nothing, and all she had to walk miles. I don't know how long it was, but it was miles every day just to go and get her water and come back. And she gave this woman a message and said, you go back to your country and you tell them people that they are very, very blessed, because I know how happy I am that I can just go and get my water every day. Do you know what I mean? The woman was blind, she had children to feed, and she was just content and happy with life that she could go and get water. Just water. We get water from the tap. Do you know what I mean? She had to walk miles for that. And she was happy that she had the energy to get up, get that water, come back and look after her kids. And that's all she needed. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely, you see how powerful that is, because obviously we, like you said, we've got the taps and we take it for granted, but she's going down the road blind, not walking and doing her thing.
Get me?
You with me? So obviously we have to appreciate what life's really about, because
when you strip everything down, do you know what I mean? What is real? What is left? To me, it's just peace and love. Do you know what I mean? When you strip everything down, that is all that's left, and that's what's needed right now.
So why do you think, like, obviously we kind of, like we said, the division between the communities, that's sort of part of what's obviously keeping people down and separated. So what do you think would, like, help the change to obviously rekindle certain people or make a positive environment?
I think there needs to be like a complete shift in values, and like it's got to be a real big change, to be honest. I feel you can't really get rid of the bad by kind of just trying to suppress it. I think what you got to do is just bring up the good, and that'll naturally kind of evolve into something better. Do you know what I mean?
And you know, I'm glad you said that as well, because obviously that's another reason why obviously I'm glad that both of you are on the interview then, even yourself, because at the end of the day, you seem smart and intelligent, and we all can be smart and intelligent women, so we have to listen to each other and share ideas to make this a better place and a better environment. You with me? So
it's about growing with each other, learning from one another and growing with each other, you know, not thinking anyone's better
it's
than
about
anyone
accepting.
else. Yeah.
It's accepting. You with me? That's what it is. You with me? With the love. You with me?
Exactly, yeah.
Definitely.
Talking about sort of how we can, you know, create this change, I personally think, you know, we need to start with the children, because the children are the future. At the end of the day,
next generation.
You know, we need to start in schools, even at home, in your household. Like them, your children will watch everything you are doing. Do you know what I mean? So it's there like, all right, you need to be an example. You can tell your youth to do something right, but they're going to be looking at you, and they're going to be thinking, oh, what's mommy and daddy doing? Do you know what I mean? So you need to make sure you just teach your kids right, like morals.
But people have got different beliefs there, and and not even just beliefs, just different upbringing. So you can say what you're saying. I'm agreeing with what you're saying, but at the same time, as we're conversating, it's not like I'm against what you're saying, but I got to throw like things in the thing to like show how real it is.
Yeah,
With me?
no, I
So
hear that.
even though you're saying that, or you might teach that to your kids when you have kids, etc. You with me? The next person not teaching their kids that. So if they're not teaching their kids that, yeah, then obviously their kids might infect the kids.
It's a cycle.
It's a cycle.
It's a cycle, yeah.
So it's very important that everybody teaches their kids right from wrong, because obviously everybody needs that value of respecting each other, because a lot of people ain't respecting each other today and age. You with me?
It's like what you say though as well. It's like you got different scenarios, haven't you? So you have different styles of parents, and people have different ideas of what's right and what's wrong. There's different levels to it. Do you know what I mean? So it's like society
respect is the key.
Respect is definitely the key.
I think we've become more not introverted, but introspective as well. Like really think about what we do before we do it. Do you know what I mean? And think actually, how does that align with me? And how will that affect the next person? Do you know what I mean? It's not just you sitting here. How will it affect like the people around you or from the next generation or whatever? And I think we need to really think about these things.
But then you're right, yeah, and I'm agreeing with you. But then what would you say then, yeah, to say that obviously it ain't happened to you, but it happens to maybe some people out there, yeah, especially in the white community or even in the Asian community, especially coming from a black community.
Yeah.
So they may say that obviously, oh yeah, don't hang around with those black boys are bad, or if it's a black girl, don't hang around with that black girl because obviously obviously that white person may like that black boy in the sense of obviously it's cool, it's alright, and it's like, you know, black boys may have white friends, vice versa. I got certain white brethren myself who I used to go to school with, you with me, me and him still linked today, you with me, old school, you with me, where at school, you with me, I used to like, you get me, look out for my man, etc, to where he's still got that love and respect till today, to where how old we are, and we've never lost that bond. Love, you with me? Where obviously even sometimes your own black brothers, you get me, you may fall out with obviously where you shouldn't. You with me? So like I said, it happens in different ones, and even in your own. You with me? So what would you say to your own, like say your own children? And obviously you're not going to teach that to your own children, but people who used to, in the white culture, used to tell their like children or grandchildren, especially like people from the First World War, Second World War, oh yeah, we don't like those black people, or angry if they associate with them and get into relationships, friends or foe. What would you think about that?
What do I think about it?
Yeah, what would you say to like obviously those ones who are still continuing that today?
To them?
Yeah.
To them it's got to be a case of you need to kind of look at how you need to kind of look at yourself, do you know what I mean, and what you're putting out there, and that's just not a good message, do you know what I mean? And how is that going to help anybody or anything, really? You kind of just living in this bubble, this fantasy, aren't you? And it's not real, it's not helping anybody. So yeah, they need to kind of really look inside themselves and not kind of just follow what anybody else is doing. I think this is why it's important for us to educate the youth about these sort of things, so they know within themselves ingrained right from wrong and where they should stand on these issues.
Exactly.
I'd like to think when I have my own children one day that if they kind of saw something that was prejudiced or violent or something where they could step in, I'd like to feel that they would, or at least that they wouldn't kind of be on the other side of it. Do you know what I mean? That they kind of see right from
Stick
wrong.
up for them.
They wouldn't get carried away in nonsense. Do you know what I mean?
We all need to come together more. So I see big movements everywhere in Nottingham, but everything's all segregated. You know, we all just need to come together, because all these big movements that we're doing, we can all come together and make an even bigger movement and really put Nottingham on the map. Do you know what I mean? Because we've got some amazing talent, here. We really have.
I fully agree with that. Yeah, man. Everybody link up and unite, man. Together, straight.
Support your local artists, always.
So, who you lot feeling right about now in Nottingham, artist-wise, female and male? Who do you think's making
that I like Splinter? I do love Splinter. He's probably like my favourite at the moment. Scorsese again, like I think he's hard. Even my brethren Nige, he's hard. He's got a couple things dropping at the moment.
He's just done a really good video on it.
Yeah, A-Nizzy, he's hard. For days, come on, I'm not there all hard. There's so many, like D flows, he's
Everyone's
hard.
doing
Like,
it.
there's so many, yeah. Everyone's doing. That's what I'm saying. There's so much talent in this
It's a
city. I
shame
love
it can
it.
get overlooked sometimes.
Yeah, I do. I think we do need more recognition, definitely. But I think our time's coming, so just everyone
man,
just
the
hold
time-
out.
yeah,
The
the
time's
time
coming,
now,
man.
it's
The
all
time's
about now,
coming.
it's
So everyone
always
hold
now.
out and keep doing their thing, man, because
Yeah.
you're going hard, and I see it.
They're watching us, man, wearing nuts, man, Robin Hood time, with me straight like that. You know.
Straight Robin Hood time, yeah.
Yeah.
We need to take from the rich and give to the poor. You see it?
Yeah, feed up the poster.
Yeah, man. Yes.
And for all them pagans out there trying to keep the city divided with me, keep all the people them divided and all the people dying with me. And no matter what background you're from, we're all like under that same
Under the same phone.
yeah, under that same pressure, you with me, that suppression, you with me, holding this down, suppressed. You with me now, man, we have to
Stand
break that.
united.
Yeah, man, standing united, you with me, one order, you with me. So, you lot got any music coming up soon in the pipeline?
We've got a single that we should be releasing soon, next month I'd say. We'll have a video with that, and then we should have
And
an
we just
EP
got some,
following.
yeah, we'll do some gigging in the summer as well, because we're lucky in Nottingham that we get like festivals and carnivals and things like that. So the plan will be to try and get some performances done, because I think that's the best bit for me.
Yeah.
So, how long you lot been in the music game for?
Oh, I've been singing ever since I was this big, like forever.
I've been writing since I was really young, probably like 15, but I've been sort of on it properly since I was about 21, like going to studio and stuff. So yeah.
What kind of like artists, musicians inspired you? Like, who was you like listening, like growing up hearing in your house?
No time.
You know what? My mum listened to everything. I mean, my mum's white, but she loved Eminem. She loved Bashment, reggae. So I grew up on Beres Hammond. Like, I grew up on literally all different types of music, because my granddad and my uncles, they like rock music. My granddad was a rocker, so I liked that as well. So I literally can listen to all types of music. I do feel that's important as well as an artist. I think you should embrace all genres, because you need to add that to your music. Do you know what I mean? Get inspired through so many different things. But personally, hip hop's my favourite. Yeah, exactly.
Say that again.
You know what you'll find, you might like
You
it.
like it, yeah. But personally, yeah, to me, hip hop, I'm just a hip hop girl through and through. You know, Tupac, Biggie, Nas, I love Nas. At the minute, well, not even at the minute, since like 07, J. Cole has been like my favourite rapper. Like he inspires me to rap. He's the reason that I am rapping today, because he inspires me so much. I just want to do what he does, you know. He's humble and he brings a good message.
He's a good performer as well.
Yeah, he's an
Both
amazing
live,
performer.
both J. Cole fans.
Yeah, I've seen him twice and I'm going to see him again this year. Like, I'm a big fan. But yeah, I just feel like he brings a real positive message, you know, politically, relationships, like he just talks about everything and he's so raw with it. And I just want to be able to bring that through my music as well.
Definitely. So, what artists out there in Nottingham and outside of Nottingham would you like to work with? Like if you could work with any artist in Nottingham first, and who would you work with, and let's take it outside.
In Nottingham, I'd say Loretta, even though we was meant to be working on a track together. Loretta and Splinter, I would say, in Nottingham. Outside of that, UK, Kano. Like Kano, I love Kano from day, like he's my guy. I think he's always holding down the rap game, do you know what I mean? He
Another
can do,
good performer.
Yeah.
Another good performer.
yeah, I've seen him twice as well, he's amazing.
Got backstage. And left.
So yeah, so I'd say Kano UK, and then worldwide, obviously got J. Cole or Kendrick Lamar.
Common. I'd love to do a track with Common. I love him. I've always liked Common. And Lauryn Hill, but she's not really performing so much now, is she? Or making music.
School life for me was awful, to be honest. Like I was in an awful relationship. You know, I was quite popular in school, but that's not a good thing. That's not necessarily a good thing. So I was always in and out of fights. Like had a lot of girls that would be like arguing with me, just, like out of jealousies and things like that.
I learned a lot in school.
Yeah, I learned so much. I had some amazing friends though, and some amazing times as well. So to me, school
I
was a
enjoyed
journey.
school. Overall, I enjoyed school, to be honest. I think it taught me quite a lot about who I am, like growing up and stuff.
Okay.
Definitely. Education-wise, that's I think where we probably have issues. Not like not sort of like I didn't do well at school or anything like that. But I do kind of feel we could have been taught things that have been more beneficial. Like once we finish school, do you know what I mean? And how to like behave amongst each other.
I personally feel that like relationships is a big thing, and that needs to be taught in school about relationships and healthy relationships. Because it's like you say, you know, they're trying to break us down, don't want us to have healthy relationships, don't want us to have community, and it's like, where is that taught in school? Because I didn't get taught that. I didn't get taught how to pay bills. I didn't get taught even how to
communicate with each other.
Yeah, how to communicate with each other. You know, just normal living skills, because I think communication is like one of the biggest things in life. Do you know what I mean? In anything you do, whether that's work, your kids, your family, anything, you're always communicating with people. You're always building up relationships, and I wasn't taught in school how to, you know, love my fellow neighbour. just have respect for people. I wasn't taught that. And especially in my school, I seen kids act awful. You know what I mean? Used to beat up teachers, dash chairs round,
like,
fights every day.
Like that's not
how you act in society, but that's how we was acting up in the classroom. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not proper. So I think that needs to be taught. And yeah, and just life skills in general. Like, say like, I was never taught about like bank charges or mortgages or your credit score. Like, your credit score, your whole life is based on your damn credit score. I was never told once about no credit score in school. Do you know what I mean? So these things that, you know, will help you in life, they don't want you to know that. They don't want you to achieve. They don't want you to win. Yeah. So you know what I mean? You have to educate yourself and educate your kids. That's what I'm saying.
You get a lot of
educate
education
yourself.
when you leave school.
Yeah, I learned more on the streets.
Academically, you learn in school, sure.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of like developing as a human being in society, like you learn that sort of when you leave, but really it'd be helpful if we kind of learned that while we were there. I mean, I feel like we got a little bit like that, living where we lived and with the friends that we had,
and the lifestyle
experiences we had.
Yeah.
Like, I do feel like we got that.
But not everyone lives like us.
No.
Do you know what I mean? So, you know, you need to teach yourself, really. You know, you need to be smart. And
how
teach
to save
yourself.
money.
Yeah, save. That's all I can say. I weren't taught that, but save.
So then, obviously, what do you lot think about the curriculum then? Did it help? Is it helping society, or is it making it worse?
It's making it worse, definitely. I think what we're taught in school is how to be a good person in this society. We're taught how to sit quiet in an exam, do you know what I mean? We're taught about grades. Like, I personally feel like grading someone, we were separated in our classes to how smart you were. Do you know what I mean? That is, to me, that's embarrassing. So then people that are in the bottom sets automatically feel a way because they're in them lower sets. Do you know what I mean? Whereas that person could be an amazing like painter, or that person could be an amazing singer. Like, that person could have a completely different quality, which isn't, you know, necessarily reading and writing. And it's like, we need to feed.
Because even when you study like music or art or drama, it's got to be done so within their confines.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you can't express yourself. There's no room for expression.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Exactly.
Not at all. I'm not saying all schools are like that. I'm not, because I bet there is some decent schools out there, but majority, and like the curriculum for the, you know.
But when you go, like you said, the lower sets, the majority of the lower sets was what, the black boys in the lower sets anyway, or the black girls anyway.
I mean, obviously I grew up in Moor, so it was like white people, but you know, but I didn't see that. But I hear where you're coming from, because I could imagine it. Get me? I think a lot of it comes down to like poor as well, like poorer people.
Okay then.
Poorer people. See,
even
because that's what I saw. You know what I mean? Poorer people in the lower sets.
I noticed that actually.
Yeah. People that are, you know, the poor boy who's been wearing the same trainers for 3 years or whatever. You know what I mean? He's in the lower set. Why? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he's facing a real life, and obviously his household or whatever is different, or maybe
so he's not getting that growth at home. Yeah. But really, then he should be supported in school. Then shouldn't he? Not then made to look even worse within school. Like, It's ridiculous. Like personally, I don't even want to send my kids to school.
I
Want to homeschool my
think it's
children.
important as well that kids understand society, like, and the way it is now in school. Do you know what I mean? I mean, when we was at school, we had a massive sort of. We got told all the time about the Holocaust, didn't they? Pushed that on us all the time.
Yeah.
Like, we got told about that all the time. And it was useful, don't get me wrong, but I think it'd be more useful if they could sort of applied of how what happened there
It's affecting today.
Yes, yeah, and how there's parallels from that. Not that there's genocide happening now, but that there's still.
Well, there is, yeah.
You know what I mean, though, but there's not sort of concentration camps about.
No,
Do you know what I mean?
No, there is.
I mean, in the UK.
You to say they ain't, but that's
True.
another story
That's
for
another
another time. Yeah, continue. But there is, though, at the same time. Basically, everything what's going on then is still going on now.
Just hidden.
Yeah,
it's more
it's
hidden.
true.
We're more distracted now. With
I mean, I think it's more discreet now, and that's a problem in a way because it makes it okay then. Do you know what I mean? Because it sort of becomes ingrained rather than it being sort of exposed and it's open and it's explicit. You know what I mean?
I feel these days that the bad is praised almost.
Yeah,
Okay,
The
right.
bad is praised. Do you know what I mean? Like the girl twerking with nothing on is praised rather than the strong woman who's at home cooking and cleaning, looking after bare kids on her one. Do you know what I mean? She's just overlooked. But that.
I think that's been
you
the
know what I
case
mean?
though for a long time.
Oh, it has. It has. But I think
Women
it's
have always
getting
had
to
to sell their sexuality to actually be appreciated.
yeah, it's
after.
true.
And it's sad.
Yeah.
There needs to be better role models.
Yeah. It's like I was saying, discussing within female rap. You know, before we had this interview, it's like in female rap, you've either got to look like a complete and not a porn star, and you know, like how Nicki Minaj comes
Or you
across,
gotta
even
be
Steph London,
classy.
like, you know what I mean, you gotta act like that, or you gotta act like a man to make it. Like I'm not trying to be like that. The only person I can give homage to is Lauryn Hill. Because she just paved her own thing, do you know what I mean, and kept it real. She is the queen, salute to Lauryn Hill, for real. But we need more females following in her footsteps. Like, please stop over-sexualizing yourself, and please stop trying to act like a man. Like, we don't need to act like a man. We've got enough male energy
What you are,
on this earth.
Special, do you know what I mean? That is needed. I
Yeah.
think really, if I'm honest, I think the patriarchy is probably one of the main problems in the world. I do. I feel that the suppression of that suppress women.
Yeah.
And so the things that we are good at, the things that we can do, that don't get valued and it doesn't get put out there like it's needed. Do you know what I mean? I think there's a lot more love needed in the world.
Yeah.
They look inside of
And
the
that's
soft or
feminine
whatever.
energy. Like, whether you're a man or a woman, you need to be giving that loving energy.
Everything now is so dog eat dog. Do you know what I mean? Everything's very linear. Do you know? Like it's kind of. I can't think of how I need to talk about this. It's kind of like you've got a goal. You just need to do whatever you got to do to achieve it. Do you know what I mean? Everything's very black and white. Whereas, from a different sort of perspective, a more feminine perspective, it could be kind of a lot softer. Do you know what I mean? A lot more empathetic, which I think it's needed.
Females obviously have got that mother instinct by nature.
Exactly.
Even if they haven't got
We
children,
are more natural, yeah.
They still got that mother instinct.
Definitely.
Because even if you got, like I say, you've got kids, you're still gonna move your brother, or like your little brother, or your boyfriend. You're still gonna do certain things. You with me?
Yeah, even your friends and family, like it's just that caring nature. It's like I
Yeah.
said, it's not even about females.
I feel like
It's
little
about the
tokens-
female energy.
I feel like little tokens get given to us as well. Like, we get equal pay now. You can't sort of be discriminated, so to speak, for being female. But it's so much more subtle than that. Do you know what I mean? If you look at sort of like building compared to childcare, you get so much more money for that kind of job than you do for looking after kids. You know what I mean? But I would say one's more important than the other.
They're both needed.
Exactly.
They're both needed. Like, do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, if you didn't have your mothers, you wouldn't even be here. Do you know what I mean? Like, we've raised everybody. You know what I mean? So I think that needs to be
But
recognised.
I think that is a thing that men need to look at as well. Do you know what I mean? The kind of thing. I'm not going to call her a herb or a bitch or
I'm going
whatever.
to respect her for what she is, which is a
exactly.
queen. You know what I mean? It's true.
Like when you said to me earlier, like I won't disrespect you because you're a woman. Like I was like, I took that to heart. I took it personally.
Yeah, because obviously you're a woman in it, and obviously you're in the ghetto. You and me, you're amongst you and me. in some people's eyes, they would say either with thugs or with ghettos in the
not
bit.
like that.
No. I'm saying as girls coming into our environment.
Yeah, you just
mean?
being respectful.
Yeah, you lot might feel vulnerable. You with me? Obviously,
Yeah,
man are
yeah.
just chilling and doing their thing, and next man are banging the door like yo. This is the hood. This
But
is
you still like, mate, we've been some dodgy secrets now.
If you're around the real generals, you're nice, you're cool in it, you're calm, you're calm.
But sorry, just touching on what we was just saying about women. Like, I don't know if you know of an artist called Absol. He's a rapper from USA.
Yeah,
part
I heard
of
it.
TDE.
Yeah.
Like part of Kendrick Lamar's
Yeah,
got a
yeah,
click.
yeah.
And he's got a new album out, and it's very much about women and like God and about what we're actually discussing now. It's a really good album, and he's got a bar in that, and it says the black man could vote before the woman could. Do you know what I mean? Like, look how suppressed black men are, but the black man
Black
could
women,
vote.
it's like they are.
Yeah.
You know when Martin Luther King said about how black women are the most oppressed?
Yeah,
in
we are.
society?
We are.
That was true.
Yeah, the black man could
And
vote
you know, it's
before
not
the
just
woman.
black either, it's Asian too. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Especially now with the whole. I don't know why, but since the Brexit, there's been a massive increase in like Islamophobia incidents and things like that. And I think then people need a voice too. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think they are really struggling. I think there's a lot of fear attached to like the Asian community and to Muslim people because of distortions of terrorism.
Because obviously not like that, but it's like if you look in society, then that's why obviously I say what I say to say what I'm saying. Like when I said earlier on, not to offend nobody when I'm saying what I'm saying, but the way society puts either black people or people of colour then, black people, you're either a gangster, you're folk, selling drugs, you're gangbanging, you get me, like you said, you're saying you're hoes, you bitches, and you're disrespecting the females, whatever. Then if you go to the Asians, the Asians have got their own little them on a terrorist, them on a rap up like ninjas. Yo, let me, I got a bomb.
It's all fear, isn't it?
Yeah, so
it's what
all
you said
fear.
earlier about like we're trained to like pull apart from each other, to distance ourselves,
segregate, yeah.
But it's not even that we are trained, like you said, but at the same time, it's something that's manufactured.
Yeah, exactly. It's true.
It's all manufactured to make the black people get that stereotype.
Yeah.
Then the Asian get that stereotype.
Yeah.
But
People
then,
need this. They need to know these things.
but then even then the white people now they get their
Their
stereotype.
yeah.
You mean, in the sense of like I said earlier,
Like everyone thinks they're all racist. You know
not
what I mean?
all of them are racist
Yeah.
because if you look into society and look what happened even in the black history, you had white people or Asian people, depending on what time periods or whatever you're looking into, but you had white people when there was like slave masters, in the slavery time. Some of them obviously helped them. If you see that new Kenta came on, that woman, she got hanged because obviously she wanted to free like all the slaves. Now she must have like came to the family, like to the white man's family. She was white herself.
She was white, yeah.
And when she gone there, now she was working with one of the slaves to obviously free the rest of the slaves.
Yeah.
But then obviously she got caught. You get me? And then when she got caught, now she didn't want to tell the other white man who it was.
Yeah.
So she gave up her life as a white woman.
See what I mean? It's like
and
people
got
like
hanged.
that. They need uplifting.
So,
they need. Just
so
what I'm
honestly,
saying, man.
in life, certain white people or Asian people, it just takes people to obviously, whatever culture you are, to speak out and speak of truth.
It's true.
It's true.
Because speak from the heart.
Yeah.
Like, we just need to stop looking at everyone as a shell and just look. Do you know if you could look at people's souls rather than their skin
Souls.
colour? Do you know if we look at people's souls instead? Our ideas of like beauty and what's right and what's wrong would be so different. We're just looking at people's souls. I'm telling you, because this is only skin deep. This don't even last long. This earthly life is not even, a long period.
Forever.
It's not forever. Do you know what I mean? But everyone focuses so much on the physical and on the now.
It's very easy to get caught into
wrapped
this
up into
cycle
it,
of what's happening.
Yeah,
Like,
lost in the sauce, as you all like to say. You're literally all lost in that sauce.
But obviously, like I said, it's gonna take more either white people, Asian people to come out and say, if you're Asian, we don't want the women, because obviously the Asian women, they get obviously treated a certain way by their husbands, or women are very, like you said, it's women in every culture, but obviously in each culture they'll have their own depression.
Oppression, yeah.
So in there now, it takes the Asian women to obviously unite with other women, and all the other women unite and do their thing.
Yes, my ladies, please unite.
I think
Come
people
on.
are scared to
We need
say they're a
get together.
feminist as well. I think there's been a big stigma attached to it that if you're a feminist, you're a lesbian, or you're an extremist, or you hate men. That is not the truth. You could be a feminist. You know what I mean? You're gender equality.
Because what it is, let me go back in time. Back in time, the women, was obviously the women are the key. But when you talk about the keys of the keys, like I'm saying, black people was first. People of colour was first. So obviously it's the black woman. She is God. That's why Kendrick Lamar or certain people. These will say these things because obviously that's the facts of life. Facts of life. No matter how people may not want to say it, because even the Pope, which is white, he will go to the black Madonna and pray down to her. You can look that up. Google that shit. Google that shit. The white Pope praying to the black woman, because it's all women in general, but obviously when we look down what obviously races come down over the times and time, because obviously black people was first, it's the black woman which is the God, what they obviously are praising the black woman. So all women is the key. You with me? So yes, I am. I've got to say women are the first women. So
I love that. I love that.
But unless the women then rise back, you with me? Because
we need to.
The women are sometimes do it to themselves. Sometimes the women are too busy how they look to obviously.
Yes, to focus on the important things.
Yeah, and why are we so bothered about how we look? Because of the damn man. Why are we so bothered? Like, love yourself. Like, you are you can carry a child. Do you know one of them? You can be a mother. We're teachers, we're lovers, we're carers. There's so much about us that's already amazing. Do you know what I mean? Just love that about yourself.
I think this is again where social media hasn't helped, has it? Well, we're talking about right at the beginning, like there's this distance in between one another. Do you know what I mean? It's like women don't want to always bring each other up. I think they feel that if they bring someone else up, it diminishes their own beauty. Do you know what I mean? And it's not true. It's not true. Like we were saying before, like attracts like, and if you can see the good in someone else, then obviously you've got it too.
Obviously, back to say, it's all changed now, isn't it? Like there's no youth clubs anyway. But what's going on in Moor now for the youth? Because that's
they did have a new building.
They made this new building, fancy ass pants building, Coston Mills. They do nothing. I think they want like a little session there, but when I was there, we used to go like Alton Towers. We used to go to that place, was it Doncaster Dome? Yeah, we did a nail course there, we did a cooking class there, everything. And I'm telling you, that was like, the going Alton Towers cost me like a $5. Do you know what I mean? The nail course was free.
Do you know what I mean? From all these sort of services. You know, I've got a friend who gets really badly bullied at school, and so she don't go to school so much. She's hoping to try and leave. She's only 14, but she wants to leave school and go on to college. And she don't know where to get the help from to do that. We used to have connections years ago. It's gone. Where are they supposed to get the help from? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
These people are crying out for these services and they're just not there no more.
Even like sexual health clinics. Like there was always somewhere like you could go like within Woolwall. Do you know what I mean? Like the teenage pregnancy is so high there, and I feel like sex needs to be something that needs to be taught.
Son 27 with a life full of stress. Man, them seem to judge her from the way that she dressed when she was younger. Always believed she'd be blessed, but the road that she chose left her in a whole load of mess. A baby dad raised his hand, so from her hometown she fled. 2 kids on her own, so to her auntie she heads. New city face, pretty many lay in a bed. But after the fun, only empty pain that was left.
In schools as well, just even more, because although you do have your sex ed, I still think it's not enough. Like we need to be taught about relationships as well. Like all these people,
first and foremost.
Yes, healthy relationships. Because why are you going around having sex with people if you ain't got that healthy relationship first? Do you know what I mean?
Think you need to be taught about sort of how you need to be right within yourself as well before you can start seeing different people. Do you know what I mean? What you want from somebody else, you need to find it yourself.
Yourself, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They can't give you nothing.
So true. So true.
That's right. So what is that youth centre still there then?
Well, it is, but like I say, it's been done to the Bubble Riverside.
Well?
To the Bubble Riverside building. It's like a big new
That's why I thought it was a
building.
library. That's why I said no when I was. I thought it was like a library clinic and everything.
There is,
at
but
once.
then like right at the end, they've got like a youth bit there. But I don't
Oh, with
think
the basketball
yeah,
court,
but I
okay.
don't think they do much now because I know my friend was doing like sessions there before the building was built, and then when it got built, I was like, oh, you're still doing sessions? He was like, there's no funding for it, and he was doing like music workshops there and
So
stuff.
why do you-
Quite savage.
It
Why
is,
do
it
you
is.
not think they keep doing these, like locking down all the youth clubs and taking all these funding? What do they want the youth to do?
I think it's
It's not even just youth as well. Do you know what I mean? I work for Framework, the homeless charity, and we had loads of money taken. Do you know what I mean? To help people that are needing the help. They're needing help with addiction problems, mental health, and there's just not the services, and they're crying out for it. It is a community thing. It's not just the youth. They do get affected quite heavily. Don't get me wrong, because that's one of the first places they take it from. Because it's like a leisure, isn't it? Leisure. But it's a lot of sort of different public services. It's not just the youth.
But it's like you say, if we come together as a community, we could build our own work.
Exactly.
We could build our own
Anyway.
things, and then we don't need their funding. That's what we need to do. We need to rise up and come together and say, you know, we don't need you. We can do our own thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's easily done. We could, do you know what I mean? It is. If we all come together and work together, it is easily done. But it needs bodies.
Rise up. Yeah,
Rise
right.
up, come together, definitely.
Definitely. Saying that we need to start creating back these like community centre vibes and activities, like say back in the days we used to go to like Horton Towers and all these little play scheme trips, etc, etc.
Exactly, yeah.
So that's what we need for the youths then, to keep the youths then
Keep them,
occupied.
yeah, and to keep them together and to keep them, you know, entertained for one. Even like when they're pulling money, aren't they, from like single mothers for childcare, like working single mothers, they're pulling money for their childcare. Like, come on, man.
But they're only pulling them because obviously they can get away with it. But if we made noise now, it's not unified.
It's true.
They couldn't
You couldn't do
with it.
that.
You get me?
It's so true. Like, oh, we do. We just need to rise up. We do.
Controversy, don't we?
You know, we need to take our freedom back. You know, stop living in fear and have more faith and more hope that things are going to get better, and they will. And it's like my friend said here, look within yourself first and do the little things that you can do to make things better. Don't just think, oh, do you know what, I'm just going to forget about it because there's nothing I can do. Because there is something you can do. Even if it's that little small thing, like I said, just by smiling at someone, that is something you can do.
Definitely. So, like you said, you got the music projects coming up, and obviously you're gonna put the albums out. What would you like? What's your music and what's your projects? What is it about? What kind of journey and message are you sending out to your fans and your people?
You know what? As much as everything that we've both just been talking about coming together and making more community and being more loving with one another, raise the women, black people, Asian people, anybody that's suffering, and I do support all that, but at the same time as well, I think it's important to be authentic with your music and say, you know what, I'm struggling with this. This is how I'm feeling.
Definitely.
And I think we need to really put ourselves out there a little bit. It can be a little bit exposing a little bit and maybe a bit daunting.
Just have to keep it real.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know what I mean? If you can say, oh, we need to do this and all happy clappy and whatever, it's not gonna go nowhere. Do you know what I mean? People need to feel something real. Like, yeah, I can like identify with that. Do you know what I mean? So my ambition really is to stay authentic, but to hopefully put a good message out as well.
I agree. I totally agree with what you're saying. I think as an artist, it is your job to sort of, you know, reveal pain and suffering and whatever's going on in your life, and like you said, you know, you got to keep it real, and we do that in Nottingham. We do keep it real. I mean, you know, I could get into a zone. I could be happy, I could be out in the club with my friends and I'm happy, and I could start literally writing lyrics in the club because I'm just on that mode. Or I could be sat at home and I could be hurting, or I could have watched something on TV that really affected me, and then I'll start writing about that. Do you know what I mean? Like with the Westminster incident, for instance, like when that just gripped me. Do you know what gripped me? Obviously, it was horrific, the incident within itself, But what really got me was the way it affected us as the people. Like everyone on Facebook checking in that they're safe. Excuse me? If you've got to check in that you're safe, well, that means then that there's some sort of massive danger out there that the other people are unsafe. Then people then aren't checking in that they're safe. What, they're unsafe then? Like I'm in Nottingham, I'm miles away from the incident. There ain't nothing wrong with me, but I could still check in to be safe. I feel like that's another way for them to install the fear.
Making it bigger than it
big.
was.
Everyone's saying pray for London. Why are we praying for the famine in America? I mean in Africa, sorry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pray for London. No, we're nice in London. You get me? Few lives were lost that evening. There's millions of lives being lost every day out there. Like every day. You get
It
me?
doesn't get the same media attention.
It doesn't.
Like any
Exactly.
terrorist attack is too many. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like one life taken or 100 taken or thousands. But it is true that different parts of the world, they don't get the same exposure and they don't get the same support that they need as they do if you as a Western country.
Exactly.
It's not just England as well. There's France, Germany, Sweden.
America, like everywhere. Yeah, exactly. America's the worst. But I kind of got off topic here. What I was getting to with that was that, you know, that it really shook me and it really made me realise, you know, the people aren't awake. Like, I really want to make music that will help people see these lies and see all this fear and see how they're controlling this. Because I think a lot of people don't realise. Because I think people are like me. Like I think people see this, but I think a lot of people don't see it. So if you are sort of more enlightened and you do see it, please tell other people whatever way you can express that. Share your story, share your testimony, share what you've been through.
I think it's important to be the example, like be the change you want to see.
Yes.
Everyone says that, but it's so true.
Yeah,
It's
it really
so
is. You just encourage one another and support one another. You know what I mean? But I'll hopefully want to do that within my music.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, you can do that by your music because obviously people are listening. So as long as people are listening and you come with something like you said authentic and you said something real, so authentic and real, people are gonna
You've got to be
listen.
transparent with
Get
it,
me?
you know.
You are.
This is me.
This is
Do you
me,
know what
yeah,
I
lay
mean?
it all bare, like, yeah, because I was saying on Facebook the other day, you know, too many of these rappers are just making a lot of money through trapping or drug dealing, and then sort of using that money then to well, like even to fund a rap career.
They're not doing it on constructivity.
Yeah, and what they're doing, talking about that lifestyle, still living that lifestyle as well, bearing in mind they're making money off music, but they're still living that trap lifestyle because they're that caught up in that mentality. They don't see anything better for themselves, and it's so sad to see because all it is doing is installing more young black men with that same mentality. Like you are better than that.
Perpetuated cycle, doesn't it?
Yeah. And the white man, Mr. White Man at the top, because believe me,
all the way to the bank.
Sony, you know what I mean, all these big major record companies, you know what I mean, they're owned by white men. So they will fund that because they're thinking, yes, yes. I remember reading, there's a quote out of a book, I can't remember the guy, his name, I think it was Mark something. And he said, he's a white man himself. He said, why are we letting white men come into our community that are not from our background, fund music that is basically just making us sell drugs and kill one another? And we're letting that white man come in and fund that because...
he's saying that.
Yeah, a white man said that.
So you hear that, then that means, obviously I haven't looked into it, I don't know nothing about what she's talking about.
Yeah.
But at the same time, after hearing that means because why is he a powerful guy?
I think so. I think he comes from sort of like a poor community, but he made his way, way up.
So it's somebody famous, not somebody. So it's taking,
like a motivation.
It's taking obviously a famous like white man to look and say, wait there, we as white people are obviously got black people or investing in black people while they're killing each other or hurting each other, and at the same time not just even hurting each other, coming back and obviously because you've got black people what even rob and hurt white people too, everybody, violate everybody, you with me? But making it a worse community and city and environment where you have to look at his own fellow white man and say, no, we need to stop investing in it. We need to stop doing that. So it takes more white men like that, or white women, to be great. Yeah? And stand up for truth and right. You get me? Human rights. Because we are people in this modern day where we got sense. We know right from wrong. And we can't put up and tolerate all the wrongness what's been going on for so long and go on like we can't see what's going on. You with me? So who knows better, do better and rise up and say, no, we're not having this shit no more. Keep it real. You with me? If you're in the workplace, keep it real. You with me?
Yeah.
White people stand up and keep it real. Asian people keep it real. You with me? Black people keep it 100 and real. You over straight like that, because the system is engineered here to obviously the rich be rich and the poor be poor. They don't give a fuck about nobody. You get me? They don't care. They don't care, and that's sad to say, because that same white guy, was obviously saying that he was a good one, but then the white one was doing it. He's all fucking up his own fellow white people, just to obviously make his pockets fat.
Yeah.
You hear me? Fuck that
That's
shit.
all it is. It's money, innit?
Yeah.
Money is such an evil thing. Like, that's what all this is based on.
It's greed. It's power. It's power.
Yes,
You hear me?
greed
It's power.
and power. Yeah.
I think it's important not to say that money is evil, do you know what I mean? Because it can be done for good things.
It can be used.
Well, yeah,
to
it's
think,
true, it's true,
Because obviously,
yeah.
with all the money, what obviously is accumulated in the world from white people, from Asian people, from Chinese people, from black people, famous hip hop acts, there does need to be no poor in the world. You got billionaires, millionaires, and even some of these motherfuckers are trillionaires. These top of top. You with me? So there doesn't need to be no poverty. Everybody can live in peace and love and unity, really and truly.
Even us though, as a society, as a Western society, we waste so much. We waste so much, like it's in food, clothes, everything, because we're so. The lifestyle we have is so like fast paced, like we just want the next thing all the time, keep up. Like exactly. It's like you said, like do you think them tribes in Africa are really caring about what my girl's wearing next door?
It doesn't exist. They never even thought about it.
Exactly. I've got a piece of garment on me and I'm happy. Do you know one of them? And that's how we need to be. We really need to strip it back to basics.
And appreciate what you got.
Exactly.
And obviously help the ones that haven't got.
Exactly. Yeah. And if you're supporting each other within, your communities, we don't need the government. You get me? Because we're looking after one another. And if we all did come together and said to them, you know what, we don't need you. What could they do then? They'd have to change things. It's like you said, if we all united together, they'd have to change. You know what I mean? Because there's more of us than there is of them.
At the same time, because there's probably so many people who are unemployed, they don't really help.
No.
On a grand scale.
You're on a grand scale.
Yeah.
But I think that is true, and I do agree with you. But on the same token, if it was more like that, like each of us, where we all did our own little bit on each little part, soon things would change. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It can be daunting to look at it and think, well, I can't do it, I'm just one person. Do you know what I mean? No, you can.
Yeah.
Just help your local community, and if everyone did the same thing, then we'd be in a better place. Do you know what I mean? It is like easy to kind of sit back and think, well, I can't really do anything, so I'll just leave it. Like, no. Like, you need to get involved. You know what I mean? Okay, yeah, it is one organisation, but that's just not the only organisation.
No, that's
you know
not
what I mean? There is others. Do you know what I mean? And for a change to actually be made, like everyone needs to get involved.
But then people don't even get the jobs anyway, and especially and especially if you got criminal record, or say if you're somebody of ethnic background, there's always a reason for reason. You hear me? Yeah. So the majority, the people still unemployed out there.
Yeah.
So you're kind of saying that people what have got their own businesses need to start doing more and employing, like you said, the local community and just people
and support your local business as well.
Local businesses,
yeah, you know what I mean? Like the person who's trying, the black man that's trying to have his little store, the Asian man that's trying to
give the apprenticeship and things like that for the youth them and things like that.
Exactly. Like it was just a whole case of supporting one another.
And people start to come together so they can create new businesses and obviously invest in each other and just make more things happen instead of also, we know that we can get these things off the government and the government owes these things.
Of course.
But at the same time, if they're not going to give it us and they want us to be poor while they get their pockets fat and rich, sometimes we should make them fuck off and just the ones who are willing to build and help each other.
Do our own thing.
They're the ones who help and build each other.
No, I totally agree with you.
And obviously, because like I said to you, there doesn't need to be no poor, no famine in the world, no people dying when there's so many rich people out there.
Exactly.
If you was to do more,
do
more, be great, be your own heroes and sharers and do some real shit out there. You get me?
For real.
And inspire people, because when you do greatness and obviously people hear it, it inspires other people to do greatness as well.
It really does.
Mm.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, there'll be the haters out there. There will be, but you have to push past that. Don't let a hater stop you from being good. Do you know what I mean? Let that be a reflection of them. You know what I mean? You keep pushing to do
so
good.
within yourself.
Exactly.
It don't matter what.
Don't matter. Yeah, exactly. Because you know it can be frustrating sometimes when it's like you're always doing good and you're always doing good, and you see these other people doing bad, and you think, you know, well, why is it's easy for them? Do you know what I mean? It's easy to be bad. It's hard to be good. Do you know what I mean? So it's like just keep pushing and keep trying, because eventually then people will come around and see sense.
So you say we need more unity in the community.
Unity in the community. Yes.
Definitely.
Yes. On a basic level would be to just love and do everything out of love and do it with passion. Don't do it out of fear. Don't make movements out of fear, because it will just lead to more negativity. And follow your dreams, like whatever you're passionate about, like follow that, because you know, I'm really passionate about my music, and I'm really passionate about bringing people together, like, and I'm starting to put little things in place, and I'm seeing things happening, so it really can happen. Do you know what I mean? So just come together, because there is no I in team, and I've had to learn that there is no I in team. So come together, get other like-minded people, and do it. You know, do it. Just do it. Don't think about it. Don't think of all the blocks that could come up, or the things that could go wrong. Don't even think about that. Just do what you're passionate about and follow it.
Do good things.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we've pretty much covered everything that we possibly can, to be fair, and everything that I want to put out there I think I've already really said, but really I'd like to emphasise on making sure you are a good role model, and you're putting your best self forward all the time to make a better community. Do you know what I mean? Putting love out there, because you don't know who you're affecting, and you don't know what change you could make in the world. Do you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of change needed in the world.
Definitely.
I think you need to really love yourself as well, to become rooted in what you believe in, knowing that you are doing the right thing. To make sure that if you are only love, all you can give is love.
Yeah. Look within yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Start with yourself, basically.
Yes.
And start small. Yeah. Make them small steps.
Yeah, man. So yeah, man. Thank you for you both coming out. You admit, but obviously, first time meeting you lot. You admit, so at the same time, I'm gonna obviously add you lot onto the thing. Yeah. Follow your. Share your lot things, etc. If you lot see more line things, share it as well.
Already do, man. Already do.
Already do. You yeah, more lines.
I see you're doing your thing, man.
So at the same time, it's about everybody in Nottingham supporting each other. So that's love anyway. Like I said, that's keeping it real. You with me? So that's what it's about. Everybody keeping it real, supporting each other, and pushing it out there so Nottingham can rise up. You with me? And then people can look at Nottingham and be inspired by, like we said, Robin Hood time. You with me? Shotting them. You get me? But we're shotting the system now. We're breaking it down. You with me? And we're unifying and uniting and building our own army. You with me? And saying, yo, we are rising up, cause we are the people, and the people are tired of obviously community. Man, them warring each other. Boom, that's done. You get me? Like, yo, fuck all that. Yo, fuck the black and black crime. We need to rise up. We know what time it is. With me? Real soldiers salute all day, every day, hood to hood and city to city. Yo, this is nuts. You with me? More lions, more lionesses to the world. One order. Rise up, you with me? Hood to hood and city to city. Come straight out of Nottingham, Robin Hood time. This is the kingdom spot. Remember I told you, kingdom spot, yeah? Anytime you're not, come and check us out, you with me? Huh? And all the artists what's on here, yeah? Go and look at their thing and support. Click, like, share. You with me? Everybody support each other's thing, cause that's what it is. Like I said, one family tree, one order, yeah? You're gonna hear K-Harmony. Remember what I told you, K-Harmony, yeah? Real lioness, nuts. You with me? Real chick. Remember I told you, salutes, yeah? All the sisters, all the lioness, yeah? All the soldieresses, real soldieresses, come and join up. Huh? Ride out, be the rider chicks, you with me? For real shit now, yeah? Time to ride for real shit, you with me? Huh? You lot lead the pack, and we as real niggas ride for the lionesses, yeah? Real lions, United Kings and Queens, real UK, huh?
It's K-Harmony, 2017.
Yeah, took some time off, now I'm back to make it rain. And there's no nights off, stack until I'm made. Rappers spit that hard, but they lack the inner pain. I'm here to run the game, I'll show these MCs why I came. I always look to gain, I'm getting paid, so fuck your fame. I've never been ashamed, I'll ride the wave, so fuck your shade. Don't need no aeroplane, I'll levitate right into space. And they can't step into a lane, I'll relegate and set the pace. Cause I'm just in my zone now, see me, I'm on a roll now. Smoking so I'm zoned out, mind, body and soul. Found I did it on my own now, so fuck 'em that I sold out. Fake friends I've grown now, they'll holler when I'm sold out. Diamond in the rough, but I'm always looking buff. See me, I roll with class, hey, they be chucking off. You see, I catch their bluff, I'm always weighing up. Cause snakes in the grass, they be always saying stuff. I'm winning, that's a must, most people mean I trust. I'm never giving up, shining, never gonna rust. I let them meet my dust, I smoke these rappers when I puff. My level stepping up, naturally gifted with the buzz. My heart into this cause I'm in love with the music. Or maybe it's the feeling that I get when I do this. Or maybe it's the message that I bring cause I've been through shit. Don't make me have to tell them on acoustics. We've all been through shit, and that's some true shit. I hit the blues with some Remy and some Rubin. Say I'm a nuisance to them, I ain't proving shit. No time cause we've got to keep it moving. If you could see the colours of my spirits, then you would see it's only love that I'm bringing. And I put pure positivity in every image. And forgive me for my sinning cause peace is the only mission. I'm in the dark trying to keep a clear vision. My life's a result of every single decision. There are
Our people are poor, and you know damn real nobody wants to be poor. This play is going to show how the pigs react when the people start to take community control over what belongs to them and liberate it back.